Cameras ready, and cue the sound in 3, 2, 1. Hello, and namaste. Forgive my hasty interruption. And now, for a moment of silence. Over 100 people have been found dead in s1e3, Italy, after a 6.2 earthquake overnight. Obviously, this is one of those tragedies that, well, there are just no words for. Our heart goes out to everybody impacted by the earthquake. And of course, by everyone impacted by all the calamities and natural disasters going on around the world. So, because we take this sort of thing seriously here at Transcendental Mystic News Network, we're going to be putting out a special segment. It's going to be called Let's Take a Moment to Pray For, and basically it's just a roundup of the last several occasions which prompt a moment of silence and a few prayers for those affected. We take this seriously. There are many people out there in the world, some of you might be watching, who don't believe in the power of prayer. Let's set aside ideological concepts like religion and what kind of God you think is out there, and look at just some fundamental science. E=mc² has been telling us for quite some time now that all of matter in the entire universe is not only immediately translatable into energy, but is therefore essentially just energy. As the ancient mystics put it, Nada Brahma, the entire known universe is the song of the mind of God. To put it in other terms, there are many convergent sources of understanding about the universe, or theories about the universe, that clearly state that everything is sound. Your thoughts are frequency, to use a more technical term. Everything is frequency. Matter is frequency. It's just operating at a wavelength that appears remarkably solid. What does this have to do with prayer? Like I started to say a moment ago, your thoughts are frequency. Matter is frequency. Your intention and emotion are frequency. What do we know about frequency? All frequency can interact with all other frequency. And all frequency is subject to rules of physics that we usually sort of ignore and take for granted in our everyday, normal, solid world. Because of this, and the understanding that our intention and our thoughts, because of this frequency entanglement with all things in the universe, has a ripple effect. Ancient mystic teachings have been telling us that each individual is in fact capable of broadcasting their intent. Thus, prayer is something that you broadcast. Now, this may not be that unfamiliar to people of faith, but let's take a moment to think about what you're broadcasting and who you're broadcasting it to. Regardless of what faith system you subscribe to, we're ultimately discussing frequencies that are being listened to by the divine creature that created the universe. Now, is that entity or thing, or as some people call it, unity of consciousness, is that tangibly interacting with our real world on a daily basis? That's very difficult to measure. But it is clear to see that we ourselves can interact and tangibly affect our universe on many levels. Prayer and its ability to have long-distance impact on people is one of those things that we've been kept in ignorance of, and it's a point of argument that's kept us divided. I'm here to say that in my humble opinion, the evidence is clear. Prayer works. Doesn't matter who you pray to. Doesn't matter which God you think is listening, because those details are irrelevant. It's the fact that you're sitting down with love in your heart and you are choosing to broadcast healing, caring, compassion intent to those that you're sending that loving energy to. This is something that I guess we'll just have to call it an article of faith. I prefer, as a citizen journalist, to report to you, dear audience, that I'm convinced beyond the matter of belief. But of course, that's really difficult to prove, especially on a silly little transcendental goofball comedy YouTube series. But I did want to announce that this segment will be coming out as often as I feel necessary. Because today, in the conditions we live under, the world needs more of our prayers, more of our love, more of our compassion being broadcast at each other. I humbly invite you to join me in these moments. Sorry for rambling. I had to take the moment to explain it all. I'm happy to entertain your questions, but I will not engage in the meaningless debate about whether or not you disagree that prayer works. I've said what I've had to say. Thank you for listening, and I return you now to your regularly scheduled Zeppo programming. Whenever you can, take a moment to just be yourself. Apparently that's all the time we have. Until next time, be sure you check out our social media hour. I keep saying hour, the royal we. Until next time, be sure you check... Peace, love, and grooviness be with you. Namaste.